Welcome back to The Sims 4. Today we're building a house for my Let's Play family. So recently in one of the episodes we actually moved house because our last one was too small. The house we moved into was an existing home. I tried to sort of play around with it to make it work, but we kind of didn't have enough room still. So instead, one of the suggestions I mentioned in the video was we could just demolish Totter Park. You know, Totter Park here in beautiful Copperdale. It's a beautiful public space. We've bought it. It's ours now. And we're going to build a big home on it. I've gone for a Georgian style home. I guess it kind of also looks like the Home Alone home. Kind of like that, but it's not at all based on that. It's just based on that style of architecture. Just because I figured I really wanted lots of space, like lots of big rooms, pretty simple shapes. I didn't want something that was like all sort of pokey in different angles. I just wanted big rectangles that we could fill out with all the stuff that we need. And doing a big brick Georgian home kind of seemed like a good way to take it. So that's what I ended up doing. So I'm just trying to build the front of it here. I was trying to find the right windows too. I love those Moschino windows that I've got there because they're really big and they take up that whole wall. And I think they're perfect. But I really also wanted the black shutters and I tried a few ideas for it. It didn't really work. So I ended up just using the base game windows that come with shutters anyway. It was just a lot easier. So we did that. Now also you might have seen I did a double car garage. For no reason other than because it looks cool and I feel like it completes the house. And I turned the garage into like a home gym later on, which is something that my Sims like to do. And then the rest of the house, like I said, it's pretty simple in terms of shape. But yeah, just sort of trying to get those iconic features. You know, we've got this entrance here with these columns, nice archway over the door. A couple of little steps up there as well, just to sort of tie it all together a little bit. Now, I think at the moment, the main body of the house is a square, which is actually a problem because the way I want to do the roof doesn't end up working because I want to have a nice big roof that we can have some nice dormers poking out from the roof as well. We actually have an attic space, which once we sort of get through this video and you see more of the furnishing, there's actually a few rooms that are kind of just empty. I think there's one room upstairs and the attic is empty. And then like half of one of the bedrooms is kind of empty too. I did that on purpose because I didn't really know what to put there. I didn't want to just put junk in there that we weren't going to use. Because this is for my Let's Play, I kind of was like, well, we'll just go into the Let's Play. If we need stuff, we got room. You know, I think that made a lot more sense anyway, approaching from that angle. So that's what I'm going with in terms of that, like just leaving some empty spaces so we can sort of fill that all out. I did also use, and I don't often do this, some custom content in this build. Just a little bit, some of the Deligracy and Little Dika custom content sets. I'll link them in the description down below if you're interested in those. We'll see them closer up later on as I start furnishing. But of course, I have to support Deligracy. Why wouldn't I? And I haven't really used them in a build. So I was like, you know what, let's do it. This is for my Let's Play. I might as well use custom content. So that is the plan with that. Now here is where, you know, I was trying to build in the attic and then I realized because my roof is square, the roof kind of looks a little dumb. So I was like, okay, I need to make the house a little bit bigger. I've already used kind of the full width of this lot, but I'll just shove it over a little bit more to the left, which you'll see in just a minute. I did originally try just doing a flat roof, but I didn't like that. So I was like, okay, let's figure this out. I'll just sort of, you know, shorten that a bit. That kind of helped. Not really, it's still too square. So I extended out a little bit more to the left, as you can see here, but we still have the little side portion of the building with the white siding on the top. I just like that little detail of that part of the building. So just doing some adjustments here to make it all fit. And it also makes the space a lot bigger because sometimes even when you build like a big home, the interior will still kind of small. So I think it's actually kind of good that I sort of shifted this all along and it fits a little bit better. Now I love Copperdale and like this area. The one thing I don't like, and it happens in every world, it's like we got this big house and we have like a dirt path that kind of comes up to the house and then just stops short of the house. So we have this huge house that has like this nice paving and I guess a garage, obviously, and it's not really a thing in The Sims, but then it's just like grass up to it. It's a bit strange, but you know, we gotta use our imagination a little bit sometimes, I think, with these kind of things. So that's that. But yeah, here we go. Now we got a proper rectangle sort of roof there that we can use for the attic, which I'm also just adjusting a little bit more because I thought the roof was maybe a little steep, like it looked way too tall for how big the building was. So lots of little adjustments here and there to get it all to work a little bit nicer. And then we just sort of lower the roof down, get it to line up nicely. And I put a separate roof on the top, so it's actually in two sections. And it means we have a fully functioning attic space with nice enclosed walls. So it actually feels like complete instead of just, because you can do attics just inside a roof piece, but sometimes I feel like they get a little bit confusing with when you put walls up and walls down. So I thought, let's build an actual room inside that attic space that we can actually use. I think at some point it'll probably be good and probably be pretty cool if we move one of the teenagers up to the attic and they can have the whole attic space as their area. I think that'll be pretty sweet. All right, so now, yeah, this is the attic. I was gonna do double wide dormers, but it didn't really fit, so I just went for these thinner ones here instead, which I think works. They're a little less practical from the interior. Like when you have this 1x3 little bit that sticks out with a window on it, there's not much you can really do with it. Like you can't really put anything in there. So it's just for looks on the outside mostly. Inside it's kind of impractical, but I think it looks pretty good. And that's what matters. So then I think I sort of, even though this is a pretty basic shaped build, you know, it's just rectangular. I took a long time trying to do the floor plan. And I think I just didn't even record it because I changed it so many times. And I was like, okay, how's this gonna work? How's it all gonna fit in? And I also wanted to flow and actually be good for gameplay because sometimes, and I do this too, like you build a house just to build a house because it's fun. Then you jump into the game and you realize it's actually really annoying to play in because of the way certain things are placed. Like if you have a tall item in the middle of a room, it kind of gets in the way. Or just if things are really far apart, all those kind of things get annoying in gameplay, but might look really good and maybe even look realistic if you're trying to do a build that way. But when you're trying to do it for like a Let's Play, I was spending a lot of time trying to get it right. That's not to say that I did get it right. We'll probably change and adapt it throughout the Let's Play as well as we go, as our needs change, as the way we're playing changes. That's the plan anyway, but now that we have a lot of money, we might as well have a nice big house because we've sort of lived in a really small house. We're kind of in a medium-sized home at the moment, only been there for like, an episode or 2 episodes, I think. But it's not working, so we got to move. So I was like, okay, let's just go all out. We've got so much money, we might as well spend it on something, and we'll go from there. Placing these ceiling lights. I used move objects to raise them up into the rafters of the garage roof, so they're like up high, so that we could have like an open roof cavity where those circular windows are, which I thought was pretty cool. I think it turned out pretty nice, if I do say so myself. Now around the back, I also did this sort of little balcony on the upper level, which actually connects to the main bedroom of the house, which I think is pretty cool. So Kevin and Reginald, the 2 parents living here, will have this huge private private, obviously, once you go out, you can probably see it from the ground level, but this huge balcony accessed only from their bedroom. I haven't really done anything with it yet. Again, that's probably something that we'll figure out during gameplay, what we want to put up there. I might also put some stairs there, to be honest, just so you can go there and go down like outside pretty quickly, rather than having to go all the way through the house. I think that could actually be a good idea. I haven't done that, but I thought I'd see how that goes in gameplay. At the moment, the only thing out there I think I put is a telescope, because I was like, well, that makes sense. Let's put that there. Now, yeah, downstairs, I think I'm sort of slowly trying to be like, okay, what's the layout? We just got this big empty space. We got to figure out how this works. At the front of the house, you can see I've used platforms that sort of step up to the door. And I do the same thing at the back as well. And using platforms is really nice because it means you can have the house on ground level and then have almost like a foundation-ish look where like the main entrance is sort of raised up a little bit. The problem with that is it means the inside also has to be raised a little bit, but I don't really want the inside raised as much. So it was kind of, I spent a lot of time playing around with these platforms and the interior to figure out how it was all going to work. Because again, if you have a lot of different platform heights and all that kind of stuff, the sim takes a lot longer just to walk over it. Like it's not that much longer, but if you have many different heights and they, stepping up a platform, it takes an unnecessary amount of time if it's all different. And that was kind of where I was at the start. It was like, had it all very different and it was a little bit janky, but I think I worked it out in the end. We'll have a good tour of the build after this time lapse, so you'll be able to see it there. And I did, so this is our main hallway, which basically cuts the house in half. It does take up a lot of space. It's one of those things where like we got this big hallway in the middle of the house. I thought was quite nice. It's quite grand, if you will. But having said that, I'm not opposed to, reducing the size of it later or, cutting it down a little bit, especially upstairs because it's quite big and there's not really anything in it. It's more just there because it can be there. So we might change that as we go. Yeah, and this is where I was talking about just before, all these different platform heights. Like, I don't know what's going on here. We've got 2 stairs going down in the middle, like an archway. I do actually keep the archway because it actually separates the front and the back of the house quite nicely. But, having all these different platform heights and stairs, I was just like, this is This is really annoying. I think I solved all that kind of off camera because I was just like, I can't work this out while recording because the recording is gonna be so long. I tried so many different ideas and different ways to approach it that I was like, I'll just do this. I'll just stop recording. I'll figure it out and we'll come back. And there's the same thing with the floor plan because I was not quite sure how that was all gonna flow and how that was gonna work. So I kind of just figured it out. You can see here, we've already jumped forward. Some things have changed. Getting some lights in. Now, because this is like a Georgian home, doing some of these nice chandeliers hanging down, so it's a little bit more, I guess, traditional in that sense. And oh, by the way, these Sims, as you guys pointed out, like when we moved house, we sort of moved house from our first house was quite colorful, quite fun, quite vibrant, which reflected the characters quite nicely. We moved into a house that was already built. It was a lot more bland and generic, which made sense because we just moved into a rental home. So obviously it was just supposed to look like that. Now this house, I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's do a lot of colors. I didn't go too wild with it, but like wallpapers and that kind of stuff. Oh boy, I had fun with those. And those kitchen tiles, I actually changed to wood because I thought it actually looked better in the end. It was a little bit too much, I think. Even for me, that was a little bit too much. Yes, still here, you can see I'm messing around with platforms. I'm like, I don't know what's going on here. So, and the weird thing with platforms, I don't know if you kind of caught it, but one of the doors, when you step into the next room, it's almost like floating halfway up the wall because of just the way it looks. So yeah. Anyway, this is the kitchen. Huge kitchen. I'm super glad about this because the one that we have at the moment is really small and pokey, and the first one we had as well was quite small. But yeah, this is just much bigger, much wider, a lot of space. So I'm quite happy with this. It's quite the entertainment space. We have this huge island counter in the middle too. I decided to go for the most expensive fridge just for fun because, like I said, our Sims now are pretty rich. So it's kind of like we may as well have the best things. And here's the first bit of custom content. That kitchen sink was from the Delicious Kitchen set, which again, I'll link the custom content down below so you can check those out. Yeah, I was like, let's do that. Let's get, let's do a little bit of custom content in here. I didn't go crazy. I think I did that and then maybe a few decorative pieces here and there. Oh, and I also, that microwave as well. Didn't really need the microwave, but I felt like we got all this counter space. Might as well get the most expensive microwave and pop it down there. And as you can see, I've already got a bin. Oh, it keeps moving. We've already got a bin, which is fantastic. So that's good. And then we've got a little formal dining room in here if we ever want to do like a little dinner party. I was originally going to have this dining room in the room to our left, like in front of the kitchen, but I was like, that's kind of a waste of space, especially because, like I said earlier, these Sims are a little bit more colorful, a little bit more eccentric. I don't know that this is the most formal room in the house. And I guess maybe the kitchen as well. The rest is a little bit more fun. And again, we'll probably change it. Leave comments down below in your suggestions of what we should add to the house or things that I missed. And also when we move houses in the Let's Play, we will also grab items that, obviously we need to bring with us that we've unlocked, all that kind of stuff, collectibles. Yeah, here's the living room. We've got this sort of floral wallpaper. I had fun with that. That is the custom content shelving there. And also the TV unit was one of the custom content things as well. I had a little bit of fun at first, but then, a lot of this stuff. So this lounge set, the Delicato Lounge, was actually based off our real life house, like Delicacy and I's house. And our furniture is by no means Georgian, so it didn't really it didn't really fit. So I actually changed the couches back to the couches we originally had in our 20 by 20 house, not in this room, but in our other living room, which is a little bit fun. And then, yeah, this is this room as well, that wallpaper. Did I keep that? Did I change it? I don't know. No, I changed it. Okay. I was like, yeah, this room is a little bit more quaint and cozy, with the fireplace. Got some books. This is like the reading room. You come in here. There's also a chess table in here. The cat tree is in here too. This is also kind of just like a I don't know what to do with it room. So again, suggestions on things do you want me to add into this space? We got a lot of space. I'm really happy with that. And we have a playroom, which was highly requested to be added into our previous homes, which really had room. We kind of were squishing toys in where they'd fit, and it didn't really work. So I'm actually really excited that we have a whole room for it in this house. It's just a shame that they've now aged up to a teenager and a kid instead of a toddler and a child. Although there was suggestions and maybe talks of having a third child. And then on the other hand, these kids are going to grow up and have their own kids, and we may just keep using this house, to be honest. Maybe we could move Reginald and Kevin to the attic when they're elders. They can live in the attic and then we'll live in the rest of the house. I don't know. Or actually, we could even just build like a guest house out the back, have like a second little house that they could move into because they don't need the whole family home. So they'll still be there, but have a bit more room for the rest of the family. Now, yeah, this is the playroom. So it's just next to the garage. There's a lot of doors in this room, by the way. There's a door to that living room we just built. There's a door at the back there you can see at the top of the screen, which goes into a knitting room, which is what I turned it into. There's a door to the garage on the right, and there's a door to the patio also on the right, and there's a door just below us, no, this way at the moment, no, this way, oh, okay, it's rotated. Anyway, that door there, that goes to the front of the house. So there's like a million doors in this room. It's very strange, but I think it's great for a playroom because it's kind of like, I don't know what else you could use this room for with that many doors in the way. So it's kind of just nice as almost like, just this is where we're going to play, we're going to hang out. It's also pretty communal in that sense that, you know, there'll obviously be a lot of people walking through this space. So I'm pretty happy with that. I also put the kids' computers in here. They got a couple desks side by side, which I thought was kind of cute because they'll use them down here. You know, I think it's better to have them in the family space than hidden away in their bedrooms, you know, just for, you know, sake of clarity and transparency, probably good. Lots of big stuffed animals as well. The toy box, we got the sort of dollhouse, the reading little area there, the play tent, the science table. We got it all. And actually, again, well, maybe we don't have it all, but yeah, let me know in the comments down below if there's other stuff you want to add, because that'd be great to know. This here is the gym, which we might do like an internal makeover, because at the moment I'm very much still giving it that garage aesthetic. Like it's a garage, they just don't have a car. So we got all, you know, the 3 main workout equipment there for Reginald and Kevin. They love working out. And then we also did a little yoga, almost like a yoga studio, because there was suggestions that Kevin, one of the Sims, who has been doing a lot of wellness and a lot of yoga, should run his own like yoga studio. So I thought maybe we could set up one here. We could invite people around and do a class or something. Now we also have a huge backyard, which I'm pretty stoked about. I kept it pretty simple for today. Again, there's gonna be something that's gonna change over time, but I was like, I kind of want a half basketball court. And I kind of like the red asphalt look to it. I don't know why, it was just speaking to me. I was originally putting it here next to the house, but then it kind of looked a little silly, especially because I was like, let me put like this fence around it, like you'd see around a little basketball court area. Looked really bad right next to the house. So I moved it to the back. I also removed some of the, you know, fencing around the house. Also because I thought having a fence around the entire perimeter would probably be kind of annoying, because if we just wanted to walk out the back somewhere, we'd have to go to the front of the house and walk all the way around. So I was like, we might as well just leave it open. And this is The Sims, quite frankly, where they just walk into your house and ask if you want them to be your best friend. So we're not going to be able to stop them anyway. So we might as well just leave it open. Have an open door policy. Why not? Yeah, keeping it pretty simple. A little basketball court there. And then we're just doing some basic landscaping. Nothing too special. Pretty much big flat grass area. We have a little pool because I thought that, you know, that's quite luxurious. We should have a pool. And of course, don't worry, we have a space for the hot tub as well, which is going underneath this little gazebo thing that I'm styling in the same, you know, look and architecture as the rest of the house, so it sort of matches in. And I think it actually worked out pretty well. It's like a little gazebo area here and has a hot tub underneath it. Perfect place to go hang out. I think the Sims are gonna love it. I was trying to do like some sort of, I was trying to make the sort of roof of it a little bit thicker, but I found just using that floor trim actually worked quite well instead of using the platforms. At this point, I also realized it was not centered at all with the rest of the house. So that's like, okay, let me just make it a little bit bigger. I'll adjust the columns, which actually moving the columns out of the way was kind of better because it meant, you know, they don't block where the hot tub is. So that actually worked out quite well. Now, a lot of the furnishing in this house, I was kind of tempted to put an onsen there. Let me know if we should do that instead of a hot tub, because that looked kind of cool. But I was like, no, let's just do a hot tub for now. Yeah, so a lot of the furnishing in this house is actually, I didn't record a lot of it because it was taking me ages, because I kept changing my mind because it was kind of dependent on the characters that we had in the household. And also, it's going to change a lot. I think we might already see a fair bit of it done in the background already. But the whole upstairs, I think at this point in time, hasn't been done. And we'll, of course, see a little bit of it. But, you know, just be aware that we're going to jump through. And then once we get to the end of the timelapse, I'll show you everything. Don't worry. You won't miss anything. But just if you're wondering, we're going to sort of skip through a little bit of it there. Yeah, so we just got some pretty simple landscaping, some shrubs, and I was like, okay, let's get a few more things outside, like activities for the kids. So we got a swing set here. I didn't really know where to put it. It's just almost kind of random that it's just there. I was like, let me just put some trees there. And I was like, you know what? This park used to have like the play equipment and all that stuff, so let's add the play equipment in here because it'd be nice to have the kids actually use this stuff. Now that in this, you know, neighborhood, I don't think there's any play equipment in the world. And there's no park in the world anymore. It's just this house. So I thought, let's maybe add some equipment here that they can use, you know, some activities outside. Got some nice outdoor activities. Now upstairs here, we've got, that's the main bedroom. It's got an ensuite and a walk-in wardrobe. You go through the wardrobe to get to the ensuite, you know, sort of all down the end of the house. They've also got a fireplace joining to the chimney from downstairs. Now, I actually furnished this with the same furniture from our very first house. Because I was like, you know what, let's take inspiration from that first house, because the second one we moved into, like I said, was much more generic and we didn't really move into it. So I was like, I'm going to use the same stuff from the first house, and then we can evolve it through gameplay and through the Let's Play. So this room is kind of just using that stuff, and a few new things, of course, because the room is quite big and, you know, we've got to add some other stuff into it. But this room is pretty much half empty because I wasn't really sure what to do with it on the other side. It's so big. I was like, I don't know what to put in here. We basically just do the little bed area there, and a couple of little bit of CC pieces here too, if you're wondering. Custom content, very nice, from the Delicato Lounge. We also have the high school graduation photo. That's also custom content, pretty epic. Yeah, and then little walk-in robe. I didn't do anything too special here. I just used those ones from Get Together. And then I did like a freestanding drawer set in the middle because I don't know, it sort of looked kind of cool. And then we did a mirror as well in there too. So of course we have that, which is of course custom content. I know I just don't normally do custom content, but I don't typically upload the houses I build for my Let's Plays to the gallery. So it's kind of not a big deal. And if I ever do that, I'll probably just remove the custom content. So, you know, it is what it is. And this is going to change so much throughout all the episodes, so we don't really need to worry about it. Now, at this point, you know, the bathrooms, I'm not really sold on the bathrooms. I kind of just did them really quickly. Oh, yeah, at this point, I was like, oh no, I've forgotten. We need to have the sneak out windows for the kids. There needs to be a way for them to sneak out of the house for, you know, various storytelling possibilities. So unfortunately, that window that they can climb through looks nothing like the rest of the windows, but I figured putting it on the side of the house on these two bedrooms, you kind of don't see it. So I think it kind of works. And I'm not too worried about that at all. It kind of just, it's hidden away, and I think it's good for storytelling purposes. They've both got the ladder to climb down, so that should be no problem at all for them to sneak out. I think that'll be a little bit of fun. So this is Addison's room here, if you know the characters. But this is kind of all we're going to see of it, because we're going to essentially just jump into the tour of the build soon, because I spent a lot of time just doing stuff and then I kind of changed it and wasn't really sure. Again, this is something that will evolve in the Let's Play, so make sure to tune into that. I believe the next episode is going to be part 32. So, you know, we're quite a way in, but you can jump in at any time. You're always welcome. It's pretty easy to catch up, you know. You'll learn the characters quickly, and then you probably want to learn their backstories. But let's jump into the game, and we'll have a tour of this house. All right, so first up, I'm just here in the map so you can get an idea of where the house is. So it's just over here. This is where Totter Park used to be. I've renamed it to Totter Estate. And I think that house kind of looks pretty dang glorious from the map. Like, it looks pretty dang good. So it's a 50 by 40, 210,000. And just in case you're wondering, our previous home, this is our first home here, 20 by 20. This is where we currently live. Not quite working out for us. We're gonna move over here. All right, so this is the house. It's kind of look, it's a little bit awkward at the moment because this pathway doesn't really go anywhere. Like I said, I'm gonna figure out some of the stuff in the actual Let's Play. So we'll play with it. We'll see how it works, see what we need to change, etc. Now this little courtyard area here, by the way, is based off a house. I think I just searched Georgian home, America, or something like that. One of the houses had like a little front courtyard and a separate door. So that's kind of why that's here, just for a little bit of funsies. This will be set as the front door though, so Sims will go to this door, not to that one. Or actually, you know, one of these at the moment is probably technically the front door, which is a little awkward. I'm probably gonna lock those for household only. Oh, actually no, if we're gonna do yoga though, we're gonna need to let people come in there. Anyway, we'll figure it out. Like I said, we'll figure it out. So yeah, this is the house. I think it looks pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with this. It's, you know, overall the architecture is pretty simple, but I think it totally works. And I feel like it fits into this environment. Maybe it doesn't totally, but I don't think it's completely out of place, I should say. Yeah, so this is the house. The outside we kind of saw. We got a good look at that already, kind of. We've got a few little floaties, a little hot tub under there, a little basketball court at the back, little play equipment. That's kind of all that's going on outside. And this is our little balcony upstairs with the telescope. Now downstairs, let's have a look. So we got the main entrance hallway here, which has like a little step down, because like I said, we got those platforms that make everything a little awkward. And all of these rooms, I believe, are actually raised up one. So it's actually a little bit higher than ground level. And actually, you'll notice that in the garage, because the garage actually steps down to the lower level. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, so the entrance, we've got the two staircases on either side. There's not really much going on in the hallway. It's just a way to get through. And then we have, I guess, the TV room, we should say. Let me just jump into this mode. Got the TV room here. You know, I feel like it could use work. You know, all these rooms are going to use work. I kept it pretty simple. I feel like it's going to get a little wacky, more wacky than it is as we play through it all. So yeah, that's just that. I love those doors actually from My Wedding Stories. I do not recommend that pack if you don't already have it. It's the whole thing, but those doors are very nice. So I just thought I'd use them. You know, I have them, I might as well use them. And we've got the kitchen area in here. Nice, big. This is pretty, you know, generic kitchen in terms of the style of house. And then we have a little formal dining area through there, which I think is quite nice as well. Nice big bit of art, a few chairs around the table. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's all pretty straightforward. We've got the cat feeder down there. The cat bowl. What am I talking about? Then we've got the family schedule there on the side because we'll probably be using a little bit of that. Yeah, I think it actually looks pretty nice, all things considered, like coming together like that. Back into the hallway here. Let's just go through here. This is the knitting room. Oh, look at the colors in here. Like I said, I had fun with the colors and patterns. So this is because Kevin, he knits and he needs to finish the knitting aspiration. Now this room, subject to change, you know, it's all a bit of fun. It's all a bit of fun. This room here though, this is fun. This is the kids' room. I think this is pretty epic. This playroom, it's kind of got everything. You know, we've got 2 computers. We've got this sort of rocket ship dollhouse just here. A lot of stuffed animals, little reading nook just there as well. And we've also got the play tent over here and the little science station. So I think that's all pretty cool. Then through here is like, I guess a little reading room or a more formal sitting area because there's no TV in here. Got a bunch of books. We've got the puppet playhouse, which I feel like I might adjust that just to line up the rug because it was just kind of annoying me. Little chess table there, the cat tree there as well for little buddy. Yeah, and that's that. That's downstairs. Nothing too fancy. We've got a couple of bathrooms down here. Nothing special there. Upstairs, like I said, upstairs is a lot emptier. Because, again, this is going to change throughout the Let's Play. You know, like, this hallway's got really nothing going on in it. I think having maybe, like, family photos or something along the walls could be really nice. And we'll probably do, like, a sitting area there or something. Now, we also have a fully empty room just here. Potential third kid, potential something else. I don't know. And we've got plenty of bathrooms. I made sure that I didn't forget about them. A little washroom in the middle, so just a toilet and a sink. A nice big bathroom at the back there with a shower, toilet, and sink. And then the ensuite bathroom here. Nice big tub and shower, double sinks. So we've got, I guess, Addison's room here, which is kind of based off his first bedroom from our smaller home, but a little bit aged up because he's a teenager now, which we'll see in the Let's Play. So we've got some more of the high school years stuff going on here. We've got the high school years door, which is a little bit of fun. There's no computer on the desk here because, as you'll note, it was downstairs, so we're not doing that up here. And then we've got the little sneak out window here, so we can pop that open, jump out here, climb down the lattice, and then he'll be on his way, which is pretty fun. So we'll be doing that. And then over this way, we've got Brienne's room, which I believe that's a parenthood door that we're using, so a little bit of fun. And then this one, you know, just a bed there, bookcase, couple of bookcases, you know, just a little area there. You know, there's not a whole lot in this room at the moment because she's only just aged up from a toddler, so we haven't really developed a full story and character for her yet. So I think we'll sort of figure that out as we go through this Let's Play. Oh, and of course she has a little window to sneak out of as well, which goes just here and then climbs down this way, of course. And then we have the main bedroom just through here, which, wow, that looks really bland when you zoom out. When you look at this space, it's quite nice, quite classy. Yeah, again, we've got to add all the details in the gameplay and also all the items that we have to move with. You know, they're going to go somewhere too, so that will come in here. You know, there's not a lot going on in here at the moment. That's kind of it. And then, yeah, the little walk-in wardrobe area there. And the bathroom. And that's the house. You know, we've got plenty of space to grow. Oh, and the attic, that at the moment is basically just empty. It's just an empty attic, almost kind of creepy in a way. I also do like that it is behind this door, so it's like an attic door and staircase, rather than just having the stairs in the middle of the room. I thought that was a nice place to put it. So yeah, we've got that space to grow into. We've got a whole room there. Plenty of room. Oh, and this whole balcony that joins that bedroom too. So yeah, overall, I'm pretty pleased with this. Obviously, there's a lot of work to do, but it kind of makes sense. It's a Let's Play home. It's not a fully finished house. Something we're going to be working on through the episodes. But I think this gives us a really good foundation. And also it means I don't have to waste, you know, 3 or 4 episodes just building this house. I thought, let's just do a video building the house so we have a good foundation starting point, and then we can evolve it and change it to our needs as we go. So I hope you're excited for the next Let's Play part because we're going to have a new house. And I don't know if the townsfolk will be too happy that we bought the park and built a house, but you know, they're going to have to deal with it. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. I'll see you next time, and have an awesome day.